CEE Brown in your face.
Have you heard of Everything at Once?
Do you know about Everything at Once?
It's internationally known.
Aliens listen to it.
It's the best ever.
If there's something you're looking for in the 814, or feeling a little bored and think there ain't no more, check out Everything at Once and allow it to be your source. It's that raw podcast that's always showing support, highlighting the scene. No need to take I-90 to Peep or 79 to see how it be. Interviewing your locals with mindsets that are global. Innovators and creators on every single upload. So much going on in the EPA.
Incredible content.
Everything at Once will keep you up to date.
Amazing guests.
What you doing? Come through and hang with Tony and Dave.
Community driven.
Bringing everything at once from around the way. Everything at once from around the way. Hey.
Please listen. We love you. Everything at Once.
Everything at Once.
It's time to introduce this show.
The best show on the face of the planet.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in today. We want to thank our Patreon producers, Brian G, Josh W, Ian D, Nick G, and Sadie M.
Patreon, it's an awesome way to support the show and say thanks. You can become a Patreon supporter by clicking the link below and choosing to be an intern, assistant, or producer level supporter.
If being on the production team is too much pressure for you, you can also send any contributions using our Venmo at Everything at Once Studios. We now want to thank all the local businesses who supported this episode. These businesses get the Everything at Once stamp of approval and are critical members of the Everything at Once community. We couldn't do it without them. With winter approaching, are there any last-minute details that you want to change or renovate around your home?
I might, but you know who to call.
Yeah! Ghostbusters!
No, Tony. No, not Ghostbusters. Solid State Construction.
Oh, yeah. Solid State.
Yeah.
Duh. Solid State takes pride in all their home remodeling projects. Solid State specializes in bathroom remodeling, kitchen renovation, window and door installation, custom design work, and more, including painting, flooring, drywall, sidewalk, decks. Get your free quote today by calling Nick at 814-397-7854. Solid people, solid product, Solid State Construction.
You know, Tony, with all these renovations from Solid State, I think we might have kicked up some bad energy around here. Yeah, oh yeah. Luckily, we know just the people to go see.
I know it this time. It's Ghostbusters.
No, Tony! Our friends at Cauldron and Thorne!
Wow. I feel really dumb right now, and I can't believe I didn't think of Cauldron and Thorne, the world's largest witchcraft and metaphysical shop, with everything a person needs to channel the spirit world.
Practice some self-care.
Find enlightenment.
Curse your enemies.
Protect yourself from your enemies.
Bless your friends.
Cleanse your space from negative energies. You can check out all the magical wares available at for these different practices we all love and enjoy at Cauldron and Thorne, 2724 West 8th Street, or online at cauldronandthorne.com.
This week, we have an incredible guest for you.
Dan Barker rolled up. You guys probably remember him from the Treehouse. They sang a kick-ass song in Naughty Frog, Now It's Rolled Up. It was dope. Sure. I'm glad that you were able to make it back down here and kick it with us for a little bit and get to know you a little bit better.
Oh yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love reggae music, and I'm really glad to see that there's like a scene for reggae music again. Like it's just bursting into life, and you're a big part of that. The guys from Higher Vibes, Opaka Roots is in town now. It's just really cool to see all that shit come together.
I don't think it ever really went away, you know?
Yeah, maybe I was just missing it. I feel like that's a lot of the things too. It's like all these cool things exist and are out there and are doing the thing, and I just don't fucking know about it.
You just gotta find them, you know?
Right.
It takes a while. It took me a while to find the scene, you know? I didn't get into it till I was like 19, so, you know, takes everybody time to find it, and then when you find it, it's like, oh shit, where was I the whole time? You know.
What were you listening to before? Were you always into reggae? Or?
I grew up on hip hop.
Oh
so
yeah.
I was, rap all the time. And,
what kind of rap you listen to?
All types. I grew up on like Eminem, 50 Cent, Bone Thugs.
Oh fuck yeah.
And
Young Jeezy.
I never really got into him.
Oh dude, he was my dog
and
in high
then,
school.
as I got into high school, I was like Wiz Khalifa, Burner, like all the stoner fucking rap. And
Yeah.
then,
I love Wiz Khalifa's old shit so much when he was still like living in Pittsburgh, and everything post Cushion OJ is just not even close to as good, I think.
Yeah, I feel like after Rolling Papers was a real big part of like my high school era. So like I love that album. But after Rolling Papers, he got too popular.
Yeah.
You know, any artist, you get too popular, and they start to lose like that what they had before.
For sure. Sold out, dude.
Yeah, and it's sad, but that's what makes money. And as an artist, you got to do what makes money if you want to survive.
For sure. That's kind of the goal. Well, part of the goal anyway, you know.
The thing is, like, you gotta. I respect the ones that still do what they did in the beginning, but they can have their couple pop songs to like get them fucking paid, but then still have like the OGs that like all
still doing the same shit.
Right, all the fans are gonna respect them because they didn't change up. They just did a couple things to make sure they have a paycheck coming in all the time. That ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's tough to do with rap though. I feel like because
Auto-tune ruined it.
Auto-tune
ruined it. There's a ton of shit that fucking ruined it, I think.
Well, not just auto-tune, like a lot of... I mean, I listened a lot when I was younger.
It's just got dumber and dumber.
Well, it's not just...
more popular and the longer that they've been around.
It's not just dumber, though. Like, the first couple albums people usually come out with are, like, rooted in the struggle, and then it's hard to talk about the struggle when you're, like, a multi-millionaire just, like, not living in the hills and fucking...
Right. You're just lying if you're trying to
exactly right.
Shit.
But there are people who do still like stick to the streets. Like Young Jeezy still spits hard fucking bars about selling crack and shooting people in the streets, and I'm just about that life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if you listen to Griselda, they stayed. Like,
dude, Griselda, Benny the Butcher, and fucking 38 Special. All those guys do hard as fuck.
I went to so many Griselda shows.
I'm jealous.
I was in Buffalo, so
right when he was coming up.
I was
dude, that must have been fucking sick.
What was it? The venue it shut down. The Waiting Room in Buffalo. I used to go there all the time and catch shows there, and they ended up shutting down. But that was like a great venue in Buffalo to go catch hip hop shows, and it was awesome.
Oh, dude,
nice.
I'm disappointed knowing that he's from Buffalo, like an hour and a half away. I feel like there's probably like a bunch of bands that have probably toured through Erie that I've never heard of at the time that are just like big fucking, now, you know what I mean? Like them. I mean, I totally missed that boat until...
That's why you gotta catch the shows.
Dude, you gotta get out there and get to the scene, get to the venues.
If you don't know them, go see them, because you never know like who's gonna blow up. And then you get good experiences. Like, I got so many memories at shows and so many bands. I know so much music because of all the shows I've been to. Like, before I started making music, that's what I was doing. Like, I was making music, but I wasn't like playing instruments, So I was like doing hip-hop shit and then going to shows all the time. I was at Buffalo Ironworks like 3-4 times a week. I was a street teamer there, so I was just like promoting shows and getting free tickets. And I was just going there all the time. I was going to festivals, and then I picked up guitar, and then I just like, I'm an addict, so like I just went balls to the wall with guitar and kind of just like forgot everything else. But like, now I still play. I go to festivals, but I'm playing them now. And like, I go to shows, but I'm playing them. So like, that's kind of what's the goal,
Yeah.
It's cool to see it all working out.
Yeah, coming together. I love Buffalo has a great music scene. I love going to the Harbor shows and shit that are out there that are like dirt cheap, like $20 for like nationally touring bands that are incredible, dude. They're doing some good shit up there.
Yeah, they put in a lot of work for sure.
It's like actually nice downtown too. I remember it used to be like pretty sketchy. I didn't really want to go to Buffalo for anything other than like if I was going to Town Ballroom or something like that. But now I would actually like think that I would want to spend some time and like actually check out Buffalo and like just meander around.
Yeah, I like the art park too. I mean, that's a little bit like more towards Niagara Falls if I remember right, but that's a really dope like outdoor
they got some
venue
cool shit there.
Yeah, I'm going to see. You're coming too. We're going to see Flaming Lips at the Art Park.
You damn right we are.
In June, right after our movie premiere, it's going to be fucking sick.
Oh yeah, I saw Joe Russo out there a couple years ago, and that was a good fucking time too.
Hell yeah,
it's been a while.
I think I seen Ziggy Marley there a while back. It was
Yeah.
like 2018 or something. It was a good show.
Before COVID, pre-COVID days.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So do you think that, how has your like hip hop roots influenced your reggae now, you think?
The lyrics are, it's all the same. Like, I've never really stopped rapping, It's like I'm just rapping over guitar chords now. So
Instead of drum tracks.
Right, and like I started singing a little bit, and a lot of the songs I sing too, so that's different. But most of my songs, like I have like the choruses I'll sing, and then the verses I'm rapping for the most part, and so it never really like it just I edit just the beats, the way the instruments,
Right.
'cause I'm playing instruments now instead of making beats.
You've been going hard on like the acoustic guitar, like singer-songwriter tip too. I've been watching some of your live streams and stuff.
That's my favorite thing, man. I can grab my acoustic and just like play anywhere, and like that's how I've written the majority of all my songs. It's just like I'm in the woods somewhere with my acoustic and just like coming up with shit. Yeah, and then it's like, oh shit, and then I have lyrics like I have like a notebook in my phone just like filled with lyrics upon lyrics. So like I can come up with something on the guitar and then I just go on my phone and just go through the lyrics, and if I don't find something I can write something out, but like I got enough lyrics to like last me for fucking years. Like I don't I still write all the time too, so like that's they keep getting added in there, but like there's a supply of lyrics, so like as long as I have that, I got songs for fucking years, and it's awesome because but all those lyrics, they date back, man. I look at the dates that I wrote them, and some of them are like 2017, so it's like they're old too, but it's just haven't found the right thing to put them on yet,
Right.
So they're good lyrics. It's like, man, I gotta wait until I find the right thing.
I feel like over time too, they get like refined. You know what I mean? You might go back to something and be like, oh, I want to switch this up, make it sound a little bit better.
I've definitely done that. Come back in and like rewrite shit, and then like then I know that it's right, and then I'll make it a song. But like while they're in the notepad, they're still like
rough draft.
In the editing process.
For sure.
Yep.
That's a good process, and it sounds like you're spending a lot of time like really focusing on this. How long have you been like performing now?
Oh, shit. Man, it was popped up I think 6 years now. I started 2014 was the first open mic I ever went to, and it was RJ, our old drummer. It was his his uncle's vape shop that they had an open mic at. And like I didn't even know RJ at the time, and then fucking years later he ends up being my drummer. It was crazy shit. But that was the first open mic I ever went to, and I went there and did like some hip hop shit. And I was high on drugs. It was not a good experience. I was real bad with like Xanax and opiates growing up, and thankfully I'm like 8 years clean, and January is my clean date, so like I'm happy about that. But
we got clean like right around the same time.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
like
that's
2000.
Awesome.
I got clean in like 2013 December.
Yeah, right around there. For
and then got like actually like have been consistently clean since Halloween of 2015. So 8 years.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
good
2016
for me.
It's amazing how things change once you put that shit down.
Yeah.
And you're able to like do other things other than just
focus around that.
Yeah.
It sucked because I lost so many friends, and it just I don't know. I wasted a lot of my life like around that shit. I got hit by a truck because like man, it was just crazy shit. Like I overdosed and I was at this hospital. I left the hospital and then I got hit by a truck outside the hospital. That fucked me up. Now I have seizures and shit. I'm deaf out of my right ear. Damn. So like drug use didn't cause that. Like I got hit, but like if I weren't using drugs, I wouldn't have been at the fucking hospital. Like
got blasted in the head.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I'm alive, so like, that's cool. Every day I'm alive. It's a blessing because I've been having seizures recently, and it's been like that for the past couple of years. But like, man, they've been coming up more. And like I used to do a lot of psychedelics. I stopped doing that because of the seizures, and they stopped for like a while. But now, like I said, they're coming back again. And it's fucking sucks. Like, I didn't want to take no medication for it for the longest time. I just started taking the medication that I'm prescribed, and Haven't had any since. I hope I'm not gonna have any more. But it sucks, man. I don't want to take a pill every day. Like I was very adamant. I'm like, I don't want to have to be stuck on fucking pills anymore. But like these aren't narcotics. They're like I don't know. It's like lamotrigine or something. But it's anti-seizure fucking medication. I do a lot. I smoke a lot of weed. I take a lot of CBD all the time. You know, I'm real adamant on that. So I was like, I'd rather just treat it with that. But most of them happen while I'm sleeping, and I can't.
Yeah, you can't
control
do anything about
that. Yeah, you know. So, thankfully, you know, I have her there with me most of the time. But
it can be really debilitating too. I dated a girl who had like epilepsy and seizures regularly, and it was tough.
Yeah, I had a couple in my sleep while I was alone. I woke up at 3 p.m. to my mom pounding on my door, and my tongue was like bit the hell up, all bloody. Mm-hmm. It was like, I have no idea how many I had or how long I was seizing for. I felt like shit for like a good week after that. It was real bad. Then 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to play a show in West Seneca at a new venue that just opened up. It would have been the first show there. I had a seizure that night, and we had to cancel the show. And I went to the hospital, and I left the hospital, and I got back home, and I just like felt like shit. And I was like, man, I think it's best if I call this one off. And so we did. But thankfully, our keyboard player went and did a little solo acoustic set. So
nice.
You know, still had someone out there playing for us. But it's sad, man. Missing fucking shows. Like it's like, you know, my dream, and it's being taking shit away. It sucks.
No,
but
that's hard. It's real hard.
I'm alive, you know, so I can't complain, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it sounds like you're taking a positive action by, you know, getting back on the meds and trying to prevent it, or at least do better, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that way
you know, it's been fucking years when I've been avoiding taking medication for it, and I've done everything I can to try to, like, not have them on the natural, like, side, and it's just not working. So it's like, until they can stop, you know, and then I can get it, like, stabilized a little bit, then I can maybe stop the medication and go back to just smoking weed, taking CBD, and all that stuff. But
on the natural side, have you tried any like red light therapy?
What is it?
Red light therapy.
Red light therapy?
So they have like these helmets, or they make like, my friend has like a big wall that he stands in front of for a while, and it just blasts you with infrared beams, which is supposed to be good for like brain health and like brain regeneration. Might be something just to like check into.
Yeah,
I mean,
I haven't
I'm not
heard
a
of
fucking
that.
doctor, obviously, but I like to follow that kind
Yeah,
of shit.
that's
You
cool.
know what I mean?
I've been taking nootropic mushrooms, like the lion's mane, reishi,
yeah, dude, I take that in the morning,
cordyceps. I have this like, it's a powder in a jar, and it's called the Sacred 7, and it's like, I'm not promoting them, but it's just what I use, and fucking, it's good. It has like all 7, you know, nootropic mushrooms, and I take that every day. And
we used to have coffee for when this podcast table was actually used for poker, and we would always take this lion's mane coffee beforehand, and me and my roommate at the time would always win every night. And then
cheating. They cheated.
And then one night, our buddy he stole some of our coffee, some of our mushroom coffee, and he won that night. So we had to really like ration it off and make sure nobody else was allowed to have it, because I mean, at least for me, I think it does like help my brain function a little bit better. And maybe it was just dumb fucking luck that it was my house and my poker table or whatever, but it was definitely nice to have that, you know what I mean, something to blame it on other than...
Yeah, it was a big conspiracy. I was at a few of those poker tables, and it's just real convenient that the house was winning like that.
Every night,
It's this fucking mushroom coffee. I don't know why we keep winning your money.
You guys can't have any. This is ours.
What, you don't
Smart
know?
powder.
For sure, dude.
Mirrors on the floor and shit, like, you know...
No,
terrible.
It's good, and I'm a big believer in that shit too. I mean, everything that we have here like comes from the earth in one way or another, you know.
True.
So like, might as well take it from the earth instead of like a super ridiculous refined shit that some asshole built in a lab somewhere that I don't trust.
Exactly. Everything is like, nature is medicine, you know. So if you can get the medicine from nature, it's better than taking fucking pills and shit.
For sure. Being tied down to the machine, dude. I don't trust the pharmacy companies at all anyway. They're fucking scumbags. They're the reason why we had the opioid epidemic and like all this other ridiculous bullshit. So like, why should I trust them at all?
Yeah, they prescribed me Xanax at 15 years old because I went to the doctor. 'Cause I was on probation. I couldn't smoke weed, and I said I couldn't sleep at night. And they were like, "Oh, well, here's some Xanax."
Yeah, great, dude.
And I was like, "What?
Just
the
what
fuck?
a 15-year-old needs.
Man, it was. I mean, I was happy as hell. You know? I didn't know
At
anybody.
15, I would have been pumped.
Right,
Right, like,
but-
oh, these are
right.
good.
But it fucked me up, and yeah. And then like my mom was prescribed opiates, and I watched her get fucked up by her doctors, you know, because she could just go in there and ask for anything, and they just give it to her, you know. And she had real bad back problems, so like, you know, she probably needed something for the pain, but
Sure.
like how easy it was for her just to go get anything, and like they could see how fucked up she was. Like she was visibly like an addict and abusing her medication, and would go in the doctors and like they'd still just keep writing her scripts. She'd have like track marks all over her arm and shit. Like it was, man, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Like I don't
These
think
are people
like,
that are supposed to be helping you.
right. You'd be like, hey, like we think you're abusing your medication. You know, we could, you know, I think we should help you out here and not just keep writing you more scripts. Like,
Yeah, maybe we should do something about it. Like, do our fucking jobs instead of...
Right. But no, they get paid for every script they write out, so...
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's a
why would
doctor
they?
visit right there, dude. That's
Why would they want to lose their money? You know, it's stupid.
Right.
It's fucked up that the world's like that. You know, it shouldn't revolve around money. You should care about people more than a dollar.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. And, I don't know, capitalism and all that shit, and Ronald Reagan, and we've gone on tirades before. It's all just fucked. And it comes back to, like, people selling out, you know what I mean? To, like, making music, you know what I mean? It's all about that fucking money. You gotta play club bangers and shit that people are gonna listen to on the radio. Which isn't, like, I mean, like you said earlier, it isn't the worst thing to make some fucking money and have people like your songs and shit that people can relate to, but, like, when it consumed, when that becomes, like, the
only thing that you do it for.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes over your soul, you know, and it's selling out. It's like, you gotta keep your soul intact, you know, do what you do because you love it, not because you want to make money off of it.
Yeah.
It makes it a whole lot, like, I know that's what the artist's quandary is, though, like, it makes it a whole lot easier to do what you love if you got the resources to do it, you know? Like, that's where a lot of people get tied up. I think most artists, maybe not all of them, but I think most artists, before they make it big, if you talk to them, they're not like, I was just in it to make money, but once you start making money, like, it's hard to not stop making money, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, like, really easy for humans to find something and then want more of it, whether that's, like, status or money or anything that makes them feel good. That's just built into, like, how our brain works.
Yeah, it's human nature.
It's, like, basic learning theory, you know? You do something good and you get a reward and then you do that thing again. I mean, that's how you train a fucking dog or any other animal, you know? You give them a treat afterwards and then they want more, and they'll sit when you tell them to and lay down and do all these other things.
I just want to not have to look at my bank account. You know, like, can I eat today? You know? Just basic stuff, you know?
It's tough. So, with reggae coming back into town around here, like, I don't know, when I think of reggae, I always think of tropical shit. We got, like, the opposite of fucking tropical here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real rainy, cold.
It's real rainy and
Right
cold,
now.
dude. Especially this year, we don't even get snow. I like snow a little bit. That's at least like pleasant or nice to watch. But rain just fucking sucks. And you're bringing the sunshine in with these
That's
reggae
what it's
vibes,
about,
the roots.
you know? Is when everything else around you is fucking shitty, at least you got some good music to listen to that makes you feel happy.
Yeah, for sure. How long have you had your dreadlocks?
So 2016 is when I started them. When I was in the hospital after getting hit by a truck, I had 2 brain surgeries, and the second one I had like tubes that were coming out of my skull, draining
Holy
the blood from my brain bleeding, and I had like 8 of them, and I would shake them around. I was like, man, I'm getting dreadlocks after here, and I did, and I didn't cut my hair for a long ass time. I just cut my hair in like November. Fuck, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it was like November. Because they were just too heavy. It fucking hurt.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, man. It was like, I'm just chopping some of them off. But I'm keeping them. But I still have them at home, too. They're like in a fucking little
Bag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just chilling.
They're really nice. They're well taken care of. You can tell. I've seen people like grow like free-form dreads and shit like that, and they just kind of just look like a mess on their head?
I just got mine worked on. They did look like a mess for a long time.
They can, for sure.
It's, just...
And sometimes you don't even, like, for some people, you don't even, like, realize they're there. If they have, like, naturally curly, like, thick hair, and it's long, like, oh, there's, like, little dreadlocks hidden around in here and just grow freeform natural. Like, whoa, shit. But were they part of, like, your journey into reggae?
Kind of. I don't know. I just, like, after... I just wanted them because, like I said, I had the tubes coming out of my head. I was like, man, this is probably like what dreadlocks would be like. I want to have dreadlocks. And then after I got dreadlocks, it was like, I was going
now
to...
Now I got to start playing reggae music.
Well, it wasn't that. I always loved reggae because my grandma brought me to Jamaica when I was very little. And I went there twice when I was like 5 and 8. And it was fucking amazing. I loved it, and I always loved the vibe there, and everyone was so happy. It was like, man, I wish I could be that happy all the fucking time.
Right.
It was like, so I just, playing reggae just like reminded me of when I was a kid. Ultimately, because it's like that fucking happy feeling I felt like when I was in Jamaica. It's fucking awesome, and like it was. Also, a lot of the bands I was listening to, like I was real big into Tropodelic for a long time, and they got me into like playing instruments. Bobby Chronic was my first guitar teacher, and they kind of mixed rap and reggae a lot. So like that's kind of what transferred me over from like hip hop into the band, reggae world, and. Yeah, and I was seeing a lot of jam bands. I was going to a lot of Aqueous shows, and...
No, that's right. Disco Biscuits, Fish.
Yeah, I went and seen Dead and Company.
Dead and Company, hell yeah.
Dead and Company, yeah.
Yeah, and then, so I just started playing guitar, and everything went into that, and... I don't know, I was still doing hip-hop for a while, and, like, you give me a beat, I'll rap on it still, I'm not, like... Not against it, but like all my time goes into playing guitar for the most part.
That's where your passion is.
Yeah, for sure. Now we got the band rolled up. I got keyboard player, bass. We got our drummer is a horn player too, and our old drummer RJ is coming back around, and we jammed, I think once or twice with him, and had our new drummer Aaron hop on the trumpet. That was real cool. And so we're hoping that we can get him to swing back in, and we go as a 5-piece. But there's nothing confirmed yet. It's just we jammed a couple times. Yeah. But
it's a process to develop that kind of relationship.
And keeping a band going is the hardest fucking thing to do in the world. I've had so many members and so many fucking bands now. Like I started off. I used to go by Rasta Man. I got that name in high school. I used to sell a lot of weed. Then I got dreadlocks after the fact. And everyone hated that. Because I had dreadlocks and went by Rasta Man, and I'm white. And, man, that was the worst thing I could do in the world to everybody. And I always said, I'm not going to change my name until I get like a Rastafarian that comes up to me and says, hey man, like you're doing it wrong. And I did eventually, so I went and I changed my name, and so we went from, that's when, because I'm thinking I had so many projects now. It was Rastaman, then I went to Rastaman, the Rasta Gang, then I had Shattered and Crumbled, and then it was Naughty Frog, and then I went to Dan Barker Music, and now it's Rolled Up.
Hell yeah.
Rolled Up, and I still have Dan Barker Music that has all my old hip-hop stuff on there, and a lot of my solo acoustic stuff, and...
Yeah, it's good, because, like, that allows you to do, like, solo shows, too, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Still have that.
Yeah, I haven't had a solo show in a long time.
Yeah?
Yeah, I used to play solo a lot, and since I've had the band, kind of just put my all into that. I have a lot more fun playing with the band, for sure.
Yeah.
It's
having a band is tough. Like, just trying to organize any number of people to be in the same place at the same time somewhat consistently is just a fucking beast, dude, like herding cats.
It's real rough because we're all from New York. mainly the Buffalo, Jamestown area, and most of our shows are all in Ohio, Pennsylvania.
That's weird.
Yeah, but it is what it is. We get a couple shows in Buffalo here or there, but it's very very weird. Ever since COVID, it's been strange. And
any particular idea why?
Yeah,
Buffalo or New York ain't showing you any love?
Yeah, is the music scene up there just not recovered like Ohio or Pennsylvania?
I was very anti-COVID regulations.
Yeah.
And a lot of the venues were for them. And, it kind of...
Have some disagreements, dude. That'll happen, dude.
Yeah, and I don't think we've ever really truly recovered from that. There's been a couple of shows, that I've played up there. But for the most part, I feel like, I don't know, it's just a weird vibe, you know? But I still love it, I still go play anytime I can, I love Buffalo people. It's nothing against them,
For sure.
It was weird how all that, played out, and it just separated people, and no one really recovered from it truly, and it's all still just been a weird space that we're in,
It's cool that you're still finding places to play, though, what I mean?
Yeah,
you have to travel a little bit further, but that probably will benefit you more long term, because there's a lot of people that play in their hometown exclusively, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it gets old after a while, I've played, for the first couple of years, that's all I did was only play Buffalo, and then I started being able to, COVID is when I started branching out, is because Buffalo was, everywhere went vax only, and I had a show at this bar called Nishi's, and then they booked me before they had their vaccine regulations, and then after a week they put it in, and I said, hey, I'm canceling the show. I don't want to be a part in this. I'm not down with that. And after that, it was I felt like Buffalo hated me for a real long time. But it wasn't Buffalo, because I still go to Milky's and Stamps and other bars and still get lots of love. But Nishi's is a real popular bar up in Buffalo, so and it feels kind of cliquey at times, because you got everyone flocks to the one place, the popular bars, and then if you're in at the popular bars, it's just weird.
There's a new spot in Jamestown that's pretty cool too. We used to have the owners up there used to own a place called the Crooked Eye here in Erie that I used to go to all the time. I don't know.
They just shut down. Beer Snob?
Yeah.
Yep, they just shut down.
Yeah.
So.
Wow,
I used to go there all the time. I fucking love that place, man. They had open mic. My buddy Adam McKillop would play there all the time.
Yeah, Adam's a good dude.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a fucking... I had him work on my guitars, and he did a good job.
Yeah, I love Adam. He's a fucking fantastic Mando player.
Oh, yeah.
Smilo and the Ghost is good friends. Tyler actually used to live here for a while before he got his own place now. And Adam's great. That whole area is awesome. I mean, all those guys are fucking top tier for sure.
I used to live... Oh, I'm sorry for
that. No,
I used to live in Angola, which is 20-30 minutes south of Buffalo, and I moved out to Sinclairville, which is out by Jamestown, and that whole area I've been loving it. I moved there in July, and it's been fucking awesome. Compared to the scene in Buffalo, the Jamestown scene is fucking great, man. I've been loving it out there, and I'm closer to the border, so it's it's convenient for the out of state shows. It's been real nice.
Yeah, that sucks that Beer Snob closed down.
Yeah, I was disappointed, man.
I was super bummed when Crooked Eye went down, so I can kind of commiserate. Yeah. You know what I mean? Owned by the same people and whatnot. That's fucking rough.
They had that was actually, I think, one of the last shows that was supposed to be out there was Smilo and the Ghost, and then they had to cancel it because they closed down. I remember that happening. I'm surprised you didn't see that. I mean, you probably did. You probably just forgot about it. Yeah.
I consume too much and don't remember enough.
I think there needs to be more live music venues that don't serve alcohol.
Yeah?
So that way it's people
all
that
ages.
don't drink. Yeah, you can make it all ages and just for sober people, because I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
It's fuck, it's weird being in a bar all the time. It's like I'm sober, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck, make some kombucha bars or like something, man.
Yeah,
I drink kombucha all the time.
Me too.
I would love to be playing at a kombucha bar. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I know in when we were in Phoenix last year around this time, a little bit later in the spring, but we were in Phoenix and we went to like a kava bar and that was really cool.
Yeah, I went to
it was
one
like
out
a
in
kava
Arizona
kratom
too.
bar or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are really cool.
it was super nice. It was chill. They had delicious little fucking fruity drinks for me to sip on. And
Oh yeah.
it was a good time, but there doesn't really seem to be like any. I don't know. It's hard in small towns because I feel like the number of people that you need to sustain it just isn't quite there. Which makes it tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially like a city like Erie or a city like Jamestown where there's not. I mean, you figure like maybe it's just like a population size. You know, like 1% or whatever. However many of 100,000 is a lot smaller than 1% of 300,000, like a city like Buffalo or Pittsburgh or Cleveland, you know, to keep a place like that going. It's a tough
market.
business is hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you have a good product and there's a need out there and there's just not enough human beings to keep it sustained and keep it operational. It's fucking weird situation.
Yeah.
And there's only like less humans. It seems like people are just like leaving everywhere in like mass numbers, whether it's Buffalo or Pittsburgh or Erie or Jamestown or whatever. Everybody's goal is to get the fuck out and go somewhere else.
You think the numbers would stay like steady then, because if people are leaving, then other people would be coming in.
Hopefully,
right?
you would think so, right? You would hope.
Yeah.
But
just
I don't know.
Overpopulation in new areas. That's why I like I go to shows in the winter though, but I always like the summer vibe more because you get like those. Even here in Erie, I mean, they got like the 8 Grade Tuesdays or like, you know, when they do like the Erie Days Celebrate Erie or like the Jazz Fest. They canceled it last year, but it's just places where people can actually, it's not like a bar scene, like anybody any age can go and just vibe.
Right.
I always like the summer more. I feel like it's easier, more attainable for
sure.
people of all ages.
I feel like the same way at like smaller festivals too, because you can have like your campsite in your area, you know what I mean, have all your homies and just chill, and you're not sitting like at a bar or whatever, you're outside and you have like you don't feel like you're taking up somebody else's space or taking up space in like a crowded area. You kind of got your own little zone, you know what I mean?
I think it's so important too for like, I mean, I don't know how you guys are. I don't want to like date myself as an old man, but like I'm kind of at a point where I listen to some new music, but I'm kind of like set in my old ways. I feel like when you're a teenager or like a very young adult, that's where you really like make your roots in the music that you love, and it's a disservice to like the local and smaller bands that they can't reach those people more, because when you're a kid, like the only live music you really can see are at like big venues with like big artists, you know. So I agree with you. I think that's a really important change that I'd like to see more venues where like teenagers can go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had like Forward Hall and the Hangout, and those were all, neither of them served alcohol. Both were like all ages and like 15, 16, 17 years old. Like that was the spot to go, because we couldn't go to, I mean, I don't even know what the fuck was happening at like the normal bar scene at that time anyway, you know, because I couldn't go, so I didn't follow it or care or whatever.
A lot of Bon Jovi covers, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That seems to be the flow still. People still love fucking Bon Jovi covers and AC/DC covers.
I mean, I do. I don't know.
AC/DC was actually my first concert.
Yeah?
Oh, no way.
The Black Ice tour. My grandma brought me to those.
Your grandma must have been dope, dude. She's bringing you to
Yeah, my grandma fucking loved AC/DC. She was fucking awesome.
Taking you to Jamaica, bringing you to AC/DC. She's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Fucking right. So classic rock was kind of where you got started in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Classic rock and hip hop, yeah.
Yeah, that was my first concert because my grandma brought me to it, you know. But like, and I did. I was playing Guitar Hero, so like I knew all the fucking classic rock songs.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's like,
Hell yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to have the influence from our families out there too, you know
For
what I
sure.
mean? Keeping things alive and showing us the way. That shit's so important.
hey, that's what
Otherwise,
it's
you're
all
stuck listening to fucking pop radio without
Yeah.
good friends or like somebody
Yeah.
showing you the way, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just
There's so much good music out there to only listen to what's on the radio.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. But I feel like that that doesn't happen as much anymore now that like streaming's so prevalent. You know what I mean? It's so easy, and everybody has a fucking smartphone with Spotify on it or whatever to be able to play what they like or where they like and discover new shit that may not be top 40 pop.
Right. You don't have to.
Yeah.
So when the record deal comes and they want you to play only your singer-songwriter acoustic stuff, what do you tell them?
I don't know. What record deal are we talking about?
We're talking like big time, like fucking millions of dollars.
I don't know.
They're like, we really love your acoustic guitar solo shit, but we don't really like your reggae stuff so much. We want you to just play that now. But here's millions of dollars to play that exclusively.
That's a loaded question.
I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to turn the back on my homies. I'd like playing in a band more than anything, you know? Like, if I'm gonna make it, I want to be able to play music with other people. I don't want to just be the only one doing
Sure.
it, you know?
What if you could do like an Eminem D12 type thing though? I don't know, just
Like, if I got signed and then, like...
put the homies on.
Yeah,
it.
like, yo, I need a drummer
Yeah.
for this shit.
Right? That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm eating, my dogs are eating too. DMX taught me that a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Rest in peace.
So when's your next show? What's coming up in your world right now?
May 3rd at the Zephyr in Kent, Ohio is our next show. We're playing with Color Phase and 2 other bands that I am slipping the names of right now. And then after that, we're playing in Erie, May 17th at Voodoo Brewery with
Oh, hell yeah.
Logan B and Dirty Leaf. That's a free show.
Okay.
Be cool. I love Voodoo Brewery. Every show we played there has been awesome. They treat us real good. It's fun.
Yeah. I haven't made it down there yet, but I've been seeing names pop up on there. It's like on
It's
my
a cool
list.
spot. They got some good artwork outside. It's real
Yeah.
nice.
The graffiti and shit's
Yeah.
really definitely a fucking cool vibe. I want to take some pictures down there too. When is it? May 17th?
Yes.
Oh
May
fuck!
17th.
That's when we're shooting our movie. I won't be able to go to that, but
Well,
I'll make it down there at some
I'll
point.
try to
for
get some
sure.
videos probably and post them up on YouTube and all
Hell
that.
yeah.
So then after that, the big one is Flux Fest, Reading, Pennsylvania, and that's May 31st to June 2nd, and playing with some amazing bands. We got Flux Capacitator and Vermin Supreme headlining. Bunch of other bands.
Does he make music? Is he just gonna like yell at people for a while?
I have
hope he
no.
yells.
I am very curious to see what happens there.
I'd be optimistic for like a 45-minute rant from Vermin Supreme on stage, just like wearing his boot.
It's gonna be
and-
fun. Like no matter what, it's gonna be awesome.
Hell
So,
yeah. That's sweet to be able to share a stage with those guys.
Fuck
or be
yeah.
on the same fucking
Yeah.
lineup, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
it
huge.
was. It's awesome. My homie Dan Messa put me on that, and he actually came and auditioned as a drummer for us a long time ago, back when we went by Naughty Frog, and he drove like 6 hours to come audition for drums, you know, but like we just weren't getting paid what he wanted per gig, you know, and it sadly didn't work out, you know, but obviously he's driving 6 hours for
Yeah,
each gig, you know, he wants to get paid for him, you
For
know.
sure.
It's
I mean,
like-
that's a huge commitment. Time
Yeah.
is just fucking expensive.
yeah, it's real hard trying to, you know, get guaranteed payments for every gig, you know, right now. It's tough out there.
Yeah.
Hoping eventually we'll get to the point, but, you know, I
you
just
working-
like playing music.
Are you working with any promoters or anything like that?
Jen Quirk, she's our promoter.
Yeah,
in-
she was
in
on our
Erie.
show a while ago.
Yeah, she's real nice. She's always puts us on to all types of shows in Erie. And I'm probably, I know there's other people I've worked with. I'm forgetting names.
No, it's all good.
A lot of my bookings come from just Facebook groups I'm in, and bands post like, "Hey, you know, we're looking for other bands," and like I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll come play."
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And then just like emailing like venues and stuff or festivals, like, "Hey, I would like to come play. Here's my stuff." And
That's tough too. I've knocked on a lot of doors, like seeking sponsorship for this show or for the other, for the Treehouse shit, and you just get a lot of no's.
Yeah.
Sending emails.
Well, you just gotta keep at them, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Just keep doing it, and I just keep emailing.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Until I get a no, I'll just keep sending an
keep
email,
sending them.
right?
Right. No, you got to, and like people are busy and shit,
Yeah.
and not everybody's fucking super attached to their phone or email or whatever. You just gotta hope you catch them at the right time. It's the same way with like any social media. You just gotta like have it get to the right eyes at the right time for it to get the right reaction that it should get. You know what I mean? To fucking make it through the algorithm.
And the best way is to show up too. If you really want to get in somewhere, just like, hey, show up.
Yeah, dude.
Go there. Like, hey, and then talk to
somebody
them
in real life.
Exactly. So.
No doubt, and going to those shows and supporting other bands will do you a lot of favors too.
And then you're helping the scene and just supporting everyone else.
Being in the network,
Yep.
Putting a face to a name, like, oh, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It makes it a lot easier I think it makes it a lot easier to say yes to somebody when they're like standing in front of you than to say no.
Yeah.
Whereas email, it's a little bit like, meh, you know what I mean? Nobody really pays attention when they're behind a keyboard or behind a phone or whatever.
It's a lot easier to put someone on that's part of a community too. Like, oh, I know these dudes, I know this dude. Like, he comes here all the time. Let's give him a shot at playing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure. I mean, it's all about the community and knowing the right people and networking and selling yourself, being able to sell yourself well. It makes it such a huge difference. Just having friends and showing up and like showing that you can show up, like that's such a huge consideration a lot of times for different things that I do with the treehouse or the podcast or whatever, is like, is this person actually going to do and be and say and what they say they are. And I'm grateful that you made it here tonight. I know it was like a fucking challenge to make it out here.
Yeah.
Traveling
We made
and
it.
shit. Yeah, but you're fucking here,
Yeah.
dude, and I love that shit. Thank you. We're super pumped to have you. So this festival in Reading, is that going to be one of your bigger fests that you've ever played at?
Yeah, it's probably the biggest one. Oh no, Spring Badfish last year was probably the
Down
biggest.
at the Ledges?
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. That was a dream come true.
That's a good
Yeah.
show.
Badfish is always a good show.
Yeah, I got to play with like so many of my favorite fucking bands and like people that inspired me. Like that whole lineup last year was just incredible. It was amazing.
There's no happier place. I'm still pretty convinced that like Nelson's Ledges might be one of the happiest places on like planet fucking Earth to just spend a weekend at and
It's a cool
soak up the
place.
sun and swim and jump off the cliff and fucking do your
Written
thing.
so many songs there. My song "Who Up" is written about Nelson Ledges, and I got to play it there last year on the main stage. It was
Hell
fucking
yeah.
awesome. My first time ever going there, I was just walking around the trails, just like strumming my guitar, and then like just groups of people just kept joining the walk, and we ended up with like a crowd of people, and like just came up with like the verses and not the chorus, the hooks, and then like we were just freestyling shit, and then I went back home and ended up writing a song to it, and it was fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
It was crazy to see like how that happened. Just like walking the trails by myself, just strumming some chords, then like a whole crowd of people, like it was like fucking 30 people behind
Just
me, and
show up,
everyone
dude.
just like singing and shit. It was so cool.
It's the good vibes out there
Yeah.
for sure. And
Such
it's
an
like
awesome
one
experience.
of the festivals that I like, festival venues that I still like going to pretty regularly, because it's not like so huge like all these other mega fucking giant festivals where everybody's camping nuts to butts or sleeping in
I
their
can't
car and
stand the
shit.
corporate festivals, man. I've
Yeah,
been to
they're the worst.
so many of them, like Peach, Mountain Jam. Like they have great lineups, but just the
Incredible,
experience itself is just shitty because everything's so expensive. They make it just so so shitty. Like,
It's difficult. Like you don't have a camp area. You can't have
Right.
like a fire. You can't like
whack.
bring your own food or cook or do anything like you normally would camping, because you're literally just like basically in a grass parking lot and sleeping in your car.
I think it's like I don't want to hate on people in general, even though I can be a hater at times. But it's the people too. Like at like those like I've been to like the big festivals, and it's like you get a lot of the type of people that are like, oh my god, I'm at a festival, bro. I need to get as fucked up as I possibly can,
Yeah,
and just
dude.
be like total ass. Like they're playing a
Right.
character
Right.
of themselves, And when you get to like the smaller festivals or like the ones that are more like true to the spirit of what festivals are supposed to be, it's just a much chiller vibe, like 95% of the time.
For sure.
That's just my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want the people on their cell phones and taking pictures the whole time and just drinking astronomical amounts of fucking alcohol and psychedelics and not knowing how to fucking function, just being assholes.
Yeah.
You kind of have that everywhere, though.
Yeah, you know, there's the good and the bad. You know?
For sure.
But with massive crowds like that, it's mostly bad.
Right. It's another thing like the population, you know what I mean? At Nelson's Ledges, you might have 1 or 2 because there's only a couple thousand people there, whereas these other massive festivals, you'll have like 100 or 200 because there's 20,000 people there.
It was like the last year, even though the vibes were good, it was like the last year final tour for Dead & Company. Like, I followed them from 16 all the way up until last year, and I don't have a kidney to sell, so I can't see him at the Sphere this summer, you know. But it was just like so like massively like overcrowded the last year. I mean, good for them, they made their money and shit, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like the anarchist or like the countercultural person in me, but like once it gets like so big like that, it makes me not want to go to it.
Yeah, there's tons of Dead cover bands out there that sound just as good.
Oh, right, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Dark Star Orchestra is fucking fantastic.
Yes.
And you'll be able to see them at like a small place like Town Ballroom or Mr. Smalls or wherever.
Yep.
Where it's not going to be fucking...
I mean, Bobby Weir goes usually in the winters and performs with the Wolf Brothers, and those shows are just so much smaller than Dead & Company.
Right,
It's
you
just
can
like
actually
John
see
Mayer.
the band. It's so fucking nice instead of being a football field away from them and being like, ugh, squinting, trying to...
I had to go and see him once just because, like, I love the Dead and I wanted to see the remaining members while they're still alive, you know? But I couldn't imagine going and following them, like, religiously like some people do. Like, fuck. I wish I could, but, like, I wouldn't want to be around that all the time. It's just too much.
Yeah. I tap out at, like, one Dead & Company show a year. You know what I mean? That's enough. I've seen him, like, 3 or 4 times with Dave. But he's like, he'll catch him on like the run, you know what I mean? You'll see him in Buffalo and then down in Cleveland and then up in Pittsburgh, and I'll pick one of those places, and that's good for me, you know what I mean?
I've gone all the way up to Boston and like Saratoga and out to Indiana and over to like Woodstock, Bethel Page. Yeah. I love them motherfuckers.
No, it's
ain't nothing
good,
wrong with that.
No.
Right. We used to do that shit with the Biscuits and other bands, like when they'd have like a 3-day run all in the same city too, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they're playing 3 nights in Buffalo or 2 nights in wherever, and...
That's how I was Bumpin' Uglies.
Yeah.
I go see Bumpin' Uglies like that all the time.
Fuck yeah. So who do you think inspires you now? What musicians do you look up to, if there are any?
Man, I listen to everything musically nowadays. So like, there's no one specific genre I could say. You know.
Who's on your playlist right now? If I pull up your Spotify thing.
Fuck. Yeah, Brandon Hardesty, Kyle Smith, fucking Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Joey Harcum.
What do you think inspires you about those guys particularly? Is there anything that attracts you to them?
I don't know. They speak to my soul. You know, like the shit they say, fucking, it hits home. I really like their music. I like playing their music. I've seen them all a lot. I have a lot of memories to their music. Fucking.
You feel like they got that authenticity that speaks to you?
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody like tries to accomplish as an artist. Like, we're always presenting ourselves as human beings, and to be able to be like your truest self is just like something that can be very difficult, because we have to put on a lot of faces for a lot of different situations, and to be able to just be genuine and authentic and like a real human for a little bit without any faces or any masks or any representatives that you're sending out to talk or handle this situation, it just makes it like a very welcome reprieve. I think a lot of people like lose their self in that too, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I gotta go talk to my boss or this person or that person or whoever, and I gotta put on my best, appearance for that situation. and you lose track of who you really are and how you would really handle that situation or how you would really express yourself, because we have so many stipulations or criteria that we need to lay on in order to be able to speak, just to handle the situation appropriately.
I think that's why it's best just to be yourself at all times and let your people come to you. You know, you'll find who really is meant to be in your life if you just be yourself all the time, you know, because then they'll know who you are. And they'll know, like, you know.
Sometimes I gotta put on my best self because regular self is a fucking dick.
But as long as you're...
You know what I'm saying, though?
I hear it, you know, I can be an asshole too, and I think everyone can.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
It's all, you know.
And maybe it's not that you're not being yourself, it's just that you're putting on a different version of yourself or your best version of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got, like, their, what do you call it? Like, well, I know what you call it. Everybody's got their, like, customer service voice, as they'd say.
Yeah, right.
But as long as you're just still being authentic in it, like, everybody goes through, like, the whole range of human emotions. So it's not like, you know, you're... As long as you're just not being fake, because that's just like a whole other burden that you're putting on yourself, trying to like put up an act or something, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to pretend you're something you're not.
Yeah, like when we get off here, like we're barely coherent.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't know it because
Right.
we talking gibberish when we're off of here.
It doesn't make any sense. Nobody understands us. But it's good to have like an artistic release for that shit. You know what I mean? And I think that it's well received too when you can be authentic and you don't have to like. I mean, everybody knows when people are trying to fake shit anyway. Anybody out there who thinks they can like pull a fast one and like.
You can see through it.
Yeah, dude. We fucking know, dude. Yeah. Just stop. It's good. More people need to acknowledge that, I think, and be real and themselves. And understand that it's okay to be, like, upset, too, in situations. But you don't have to, like, take it out on other people, you know? I'm definitely guilty of that, like, the anger or whatever, lashing out. But it's just, like, all part of the human experience and learning how to deal with that better, you know?
It's all about trying to do better moving forward, you know?
Exactly.
I have a new song, and it's one of the lyrics, I can't undo all my wrongs, but I can start by doing better. That's how I start off the song.
For sure. Can't change the past.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I like about reggae too, is that it's generally like positive and uplifting. And I feel like over the past, like, I don't know, maybe 5-7 years, I've been listening to a lot more like spiritually minded music, and reggae was definitely like an intro into that, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people are saying a lot of good things I feel like it's finally starting to get more traction, or at least more traction in my life. I can't speak for other people or how it's doing like globally. Maybe people have known about this shit forever, but like to me it's good and it's welcome, because there's a lack of that in the world today. I feel people aren't, you know, really focused on those kinds of things.
I just like pretending that I'm on an island sometimes, because I live in Erie, Pennsylvania, and like just like certain types of music just like do that for me, you know, even if it's just like something that's in the background, like reggae, or like I'm a big fan of like steel drums too. I fucking love steel drums.
Exactly.
Like I wish more bands just use steel drums. It's just like my favorite sound in the world.
Yeah. Gives you a big island vibe.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, Dan, it's been real cool for having you out here and talking, picking your brain a little bit, getting to know you a little bit better, other than just listening to your music and having you up in the treehouse. So thank you for making your way out here and hanging out with us.
Yeah,
check out Dan Barker Music, Rolled Up, all the shit. Hit them up on the socials. Come to their shows. Follow them, like, subscribe, all the shit. Just click every fucking button that there is out there, and
do it.
Do the same for us too. Thanks everybody who listened, all of our sponsors, all the people who comment and like our shit. Y'all are the MVPs and help us fight the evil algorithm that capitalism wants to shove down everybody's throat. Y'all are the best. Peace out.
Peace.